I've stated on both of my channels on how lucky I feel like I am 99% of the time, even though I've had some pretty crappy things happen to me in my life. For the most part, I've been super fortunate, or at least to get to the point in life that I am right now. So I got my teeth done. I'm gonna talk a little bit about these. These are my temporaries, so they are way too white. They have a little bit of a chiclet, or at least look to them. I don't think that they look super realistic, but they're not meant to. These are just placeholders that I'm gonna have here until I get my final teeth put in, which are gonna be made of zirconium, which is gonna be like, I could eat anything with them. I could bite into steel. They're gonna have way more realistic shading, because clearly teeth this white doesn't really line up with this face, this body, this superior fashion sense. And so to people who watch my videos, I think it might be a little bit jarring at first. Interestingly enough though, I got used to them really fast. Like looking in the mirror at first, I was like, oh, this is weird. Especially because my face isn't moving correctly yet, because there's still like some parts of it are still numb. But even with Dale, I FaceTimed Dale the other day, and it was his first time seeing it. And he was like, whoa, it's like a huge difference. And then about 2 minutes in, he was like, you know what? I'm kind of already used to it. So hopefully maybe at some point in time in this video that happens for you. If not, enjoy my goofy looking teeth for the next 3 months, because that's how long it's gonna take until I get my proper teeth. When I set out to get my teeth done, I didn't want to go out and get some speedy, like you go in there and then you go home with your permanent teeth. There's a lot of places that offer that. And in fact, they're cheaper than the place that I went. The place that I went was, I don't want to say bougie, because as far as cost goes, it's pretty common for how much I paid for this procedure compared to like what most people pay for a similar procedure. The version that I got is a bit different than the others, and I'll get a little bit into that. But basically the reason that I don't want to get one of the sped up versions is, one, you get what you pay for, and two, the faster that someone does something, the less perfect it's gonna be. And so the version that I got, these are just temporary teeth. They're just, you know, they're made of like a thicker plastic. You know, they like don't line up perfectly with my mouth. They're actually surprisingly comfortable, even though I have to relearn how to talk, which I'll get into a little bit later. If I'm talking decently right now, it's because I've been practicing a lot, like a real lot, like in the mirror, staring at my tongue and seeing where it touches my teeth. Like the word lisp took me like maybe 5 minutes of nonstop trying to say it right. Just because, yeah, they're just, when you talk, your tongue goes to specific spots in your teeth, and when your teeth are slightly to the side or thicker or further away, it's just going to make the wrong sounds, and I make a lot of like sounds when I try to talk. So bear with me on that. Believe it or not, this took a minute to get comfortable enough to even talk as well as I am right now, even though I know I am messing up from time to time. Yeah, I mean, like when it comes to a car, you know, you want to make sure that you don't get a lemon. But if you do get a lemon, you know, it's a lot of money, but you can end up like getting another car. With this, it's like permanent. Like if I'm going to get teeth that are actually bolted into my jaw, which this is, it's like they drill 4 holes on the bottom, 4 holes on the top of your jaw, put bolts and nuts in, and then, you know, screw these teeth to it. That's forever. And these temporary ones, they're going to unbolt these and then put in the zirconium ones. And when I get those, like those are like, that's it. Those are going to be my teeth for the rest of my life, as long as I take care of them. You use like a water pick to like keep them clean. You kind of treat them just like regular teeth. You got to stay on top of it, you know. And there's like, you know, you want to avoid like gum disease, because if your gums start like getting messed up, it can mess with your teeth. But yeah, the place that I ended up going is like they're very like personable. The reason I chose this place is the doctor, he's like a dentist and a doctor, and the 2 doctors there, they specialize in like everything from like facial reconstruction, like people get in like car accidents and like their jaw's broken and shattered and everything's all messed up. Like they specialize in stuff like that. So they kind of got together and they're like, oh, well, if we understand like the mouth and all this stuff so well here, maybe we could like do something really well with dentistry, which is what they do. That's why when you go to their before and afters, you see a lot of people with before and afters where like it looks kind of obviously fake. Like the way their teeth line up in their mouth just doesn't look right. There's definitely like some celebrities that you probably can think of that have that situation. Of course, not the worst looking thing, but you can just tell that they're not real, kind of like these. It's kind of like obvious that they're not real. But what they do is they do this like crazy 3D rendering of your like face. Like I was like watching them do it to where like it almost looks like a video game, but they can like zoom into your face, like see inside your teeth where like the bad parts are. The 3D rendering is so insanely realistic. It doesn't look like it's like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 rendering of your face. Like it looks like your face, and they're moving all around it to make sure that they get the teeth to rest under your gums the exact same way that your resting face would normally look. I mean, the technology that these people had were crazy. And I know this because in comparison, I actually set up a dentist appointment, which is like a regular dentist that I try to go through. And it was going to be like several operations. They weren't going to be able to do it in one shot. It was going to take way longer. It was going to be a little bit cheaper, but also like I would have been left with some of my original teeth, which eventually would need work in the future. And it would have been a lifelong process of just dealing with all that. Which if you've dealt with serious tooth pain like I have, you just want to get away from that as quick as possible. It was definitely a lot easier for me to trust my mouth with someone who like does reconstructive surgery, understands the ins and outs of all the bones. And then also the other thing is, If you have any sort of like health history, like if you know me, I have like a couple of health issues, whether, be that I had an ablation on my heart or like, like all these like different things that I've had in the past. Since these guys work with people who like need these serious surgeries that have these conditions, a lot of dentists are like reluctant to work with people who have these sort of like health issues, and they like won't want to like put you under to do these procedures and stuff like this. And since these guys have had so much experience in so many other things, it was not even a problem. Like when I was telling them about my history, they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna do this, this, and this. And when I talked about, the medicines that I'm allergic to, you're like, yeah, that's fine. There was no hiccups. There was no added costs. It was literally like, okay, well, yeah, we're going to get this procedure done. I originally had a scheduled surgery for the 14th with the other dentist, and I canceled it on the 12th. And then these guys got me in on the 15th to go do the interview. I went back the 16th or 17th to get the 3D scan of my mouth, the inside and out. And I can tell you, because I had the same thing done at the other dentist, the technology was so far beyond like what you would normally get at a dentist. So it ended up costing me more, but you get what you pay for. And in this case, it's not like more expensive than other all-on-4 procedures. It's just more expensive than if you go to a regular dentist and they try to drag it out and have you like scheduled for like a bunch of things. These guys, it's one shot. All your teeth top row, all your teeth bottom row. We're doing it all at once. And they also like kind of specialize in like customer service. But like when you go in there, they're like showing you videos of like before and afters as they're explaining what they're gonna do and like the layout of your mouth and how they would like to proceed with your specific situation. But they put a lot of effort in making you feel comfortable. And it happened so fast. So it was literally like, I had that, they did the 3D thing. And then when I went in, the 21st, like a couple days later, like I literally like walked in there like, okay, yeah, the doctor's ready to see you. I went in, I sat in the chair and like, yeah, when he comes in, he's probably just gonna want to get right into it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So like, I'm starting to feel a little nervous because, I'm about to be put under and have all my teeth ripped out. But like, it wasn't even enough time to get that scared. Like literally the doctor came in and was like, hey, how you feeling? I was like, all right. He was like, all right, you ready to do this? And I was like, yeah, I think. And then like, that's the last thing I remember. And then the next thing I know, I'm waking up with a remote in my hand. Like I wake up, they give you a remote, like, oh, like got Netflix, watch some TV. So I ended up watching like Seinfeld for 3 hours while they got these teeth ready. And it was such a surprisingly fast and like comfortable experience. Now, the serious discomfort happened later, which isn't something that you would experience, or at least 99% of you wouldn't experience, because when I left, I don't like painkillers. I don't like taking, it just ruined way too many people's lives that I know and changed too many people. I'm not a fan of them. So I came home after the surgery and didn't take anything except for like the anti-inflammatory medicine, because you have to, and then the antibiotics so it doesn't get infected. And I'm not gonna say it's the gnarliest pain in the world. I get chronic kidney stones, so I'm pretty good at like dealing with pain. But I mean, they did remove all of my teeth and like, grind down my jawbone and drill 8 holes into my jawbone. So it's not like you don't feel it. My mouth's still not like moving completely right if my like facial expressions look a little off, just because it's still kind of numb down in here and a couple other spots. But I cannot tell you how crazy it is that like when I moved out to California and I ended up living out here, the money that I used to live for the first couple months was like money that I had saved up to get a procedure like what I had, but like a really, really cheap version. It was basically going to be like pretty much permanent dentures, some exaggerated white teeth that didn't fit my mouth, but I just wanted to be able to like eat again, because that's the whole, like the aesthetic side of things is not the top of my priority. It's more like I want to be able to like eat whatever I want. I want to be able to eat potato chips, man, or like bite into ice cream or have a hot chocolate and have all these things that I don't have to worry about like the intense tenderness of my teeth, because my entire life my teeth have been really sensitive and they've been falling apart from a very early point in time. Don't get me wrong, I take total responsibility for my teeth getting as bad as they did, but there was a lot of genetic things that played into it as well. And the fact that like through making YouTube videos, I can actually afford to have like, from what I am seeing, some of the highest quality teeth done. Luckily it's like at a good price, but like I get that procedure done and I get to have permanent teeth in 3 months from now that are gonna like look decent and last me for the rest of my life. I'll never have to see another dentist again unless something crazy happened. I'll be cleaning my teeth with water picks. I'll be able to eat anything I want. And these are things that like I literally kissed goodbye. Maybe like my second year living in California, where I'm like, okay, the money that I'm making, working in these jobs is, I can survive on it, but I'm not gonna be able to save enough to get like a serious procedure done for a long time. And the fact that I started doing YouTube and it's paying for this, don't get me wrong, it's like, I'm not rich, as I've seen some people assume online, a big chunk of my money, but like, I can do something like this, get these teeth, and not have to worry about how I'm gonna pay for food for the next month or something like that, or how I'm gonna put gas in my vehicle to go do the job that I do, which is basically just filming skateboarding YouTube videos. So maybe by now you've gotten a little bit used to these teeth, maybe not. Maybe they just still don't look right because you're so used to seeing me with all these gaps, or these teeth are a little bit white. Like, doesn't the bottom row look really good though? Like, I think this looks super real. And then the top row, particularly these two teeth, just look a little bit, I don't know. Also like the way my lips are sitting on it, like it's not right yet because it's still swollen in here. Like my smile looks really weird. Like it just looks funny to me. Actually, the first time I smiled fully was I FaceTimed my roommate Dale. And like when I answered the thing, you could see him like trying to like get a look at my teeth, and it made me smile really big because it was so funny, just trying to like kind of peek under the phone as if he could get a different angle. And I smiled so big it like tore stitches in my mouth. And my mouth immediately filled up with blood. But honestly, what I'm most stoked on is the fact that the place that I ended up going, because I mean, I shopped around for a while to find the right dentist, ended up being like the perfect experience. So I'll obviously link them down in the description. If you have any dental work, especially if it's on the more serious side and you're like, oh man, I need to find the right dentist, or if you're like bugging people, like try to find the right dentist, because I know I did that a while before I got this done. These guys are like by far the best physicians I've ever been to. Like, you know, when I had my heart surgery, or when I've had like the way that these guys handled me and dealt with me and spoke to me and kept me in the loop, which is something that a lot of doctors don't do. Like they really try hard to keep you in the loop of like what's going on and what they're going to do in a not scary graphic way. Just kind of like, yeah, it's going to be like this, and this is what you can come to expect. They're not there sugarcoating it. They're giving it to you straight. 10 out of 10 experience. If I would have taken painkillers, it would have been an 11 out of 10 experience. You know, I got home and I watched the first 2 seasons of Community, which I've never seen before. And if you are familiar with that show, there's 500 episodes a season. So that was crazy. So that's all I've been really up to. This is the first thing that I've done in the YouTubing world. If you're worried about my skateboarding channel and the upload schedule, that should be going up this week because I had the hurt calf muscle, and then it's raining until Wednesday. So by Wednesday, I will start going out with everyone again and skating myself, hopefully, since I did a couple kickflips the other day and it wasn't the worst ever. Just no stamina right now. I've really been on my ass a lot this year. It's been a pretty rough year. Actually, rough 3 months. Just like a lot of circumstance, you know, just whether it's health or things that I'm dealing with. But yeah, huge shout out to the dentist. Big shout out to Haley Isaac for coming and picking me up from the dentist and taking care of me for the first couple days. She is the best human in the entire world, and I know that because I've met everyone. But yeah, that's my tooth update. Went up, ended up being longer than I expected it to. Sorry.